Hello everybody, welcome back to CNS Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful Corvette stuff. Today we are going to be covering product reviews on a bunch of things for Corvette that we don't make and we don't sell, but that we have tried here on our own cars or on customer cars, and we're going to kind of give you our thoughts on what our experiences are. So before we get started, this review is strictly focused on the products themselves. We don't manufacture or actively sell any of these products. Our goal is to keep things fair and unbiased as possible without favoritism toward any seller. So this is in purely what we experienced with these particular products. All right, you ready? First product up on the list is the 97 to 2004 C68 HVAC air conditioning control head for your C5. You know, the one with a little digital display in it. Well, I had seen that someone was offering a reproduction on Amazon, and I read some reviews online and I heard a lot of rumors about that the display didn't work or that this didn't work. So I'm like, you know what? Let's order one. Let's put it in my car for 2 weeks and see what it does. Well, I put it in my car. First thing you notice is the backlighting on this unit is blue and very bright all the time, like bright at night. As far as functionality worked, it was slow to respond to input, but it did actually work. So the display looked good, everything worked HVAC wise. Here was where the problems began though. I started getting all these weird anomalies and codes in my car that I'd never had before. And I started getting uncomfortable when I would shut the car off and everything would turn off except for the head unit, which would stay bright, stay bright, stay bright, and then kind of fade off. It just never really felt like that system was like seamlessly integrating into my car. So I ended up sending it back to Amazon and getting a refund because it's kind of half-baked. It's not done yet. They may get it right one day, but for the 270 bucks or whatever, it's not worth it right now. So I would avoid that product until they make demonstrable improvements to where it is more seamless and doesn't affect other systems in your car negatively. Second product on today's list is the Sleepy Eye headlight conversion for the C5 Corvette made by Night Drive TV. These have been out for several years now. Damien, who is the lead guy at Night Drive, has square ones and round ones and multicolor ones. There's a lot of things he's done with the original design to kind of make it right for everybody. I have them in my car. Andy, one of our techs, has them in his car. I personally love them. I like the kind of the stealth look. They do a great job of lighting the road, and they are good quality products. That said, Damien is a brilliant entrepreneur. He makes very inventive, very high quality stuff. The downside is Damien is pretty much a one-man show, and he insists on controlling every part of the production process, which I kind of get, but that makes his ability to provide good customer service to his thousands of customers individually very difficult. So it can be kind of hard to get some help from him. He'll oftentimes direct you to a Facebook group or whatever that has experience with these things. But the way I see it, if it's your product, you should support it. Then that's just my opinion. But the Sleepy Eyes, I absolutely love them. They do a great job. Andy feels the same. We've installed many of them here. Thumbs up on that product. Third product on our list is another Night Drive TV production, and it was the version 1 of the MaxDen head unit for a C6 Corvette. So basically this is a giant screen that replaces your AC controller, your radio, your heated seats, all of that, and it's just this giant tablet that it fits perfectly and it looks great in the car. Now, there are two things that we found, at least with the version 1, which is the first version of this unit. It would randomly just change. You know, you'd try to get FM radio and it would just shut off, or it'd switch stations, or it'd do something on its own. The controls weren't always just, you'd set it and expect things to stay that way, like with your air conditioning or whatever, and things would just randomly change. The other problem we found was that because of the angle of this screen, when the sun was behind you and you were driving, it was like a giant mirror that was just like, blinding you. I know that if you put a, kind of a matte anti-glare applique on that screen, that will cut that down a lot. But that was one of those things that, Damien said he would send us and never did. Now, from what I understand, he has a version 1.5 now that addresses a lot of the electronic glitches that were with that system. The fit, finish, look, and concept were fantastic. The version 1 I would probably stay away from. From what I understand, the version 1.5 is a really, really neat unit. I'd say the only downside to it, other than the potential for glare, is you lose your little, between the heated seats, there was that little ashtray glove box type of thing under your HVAC control where you could store change, and there was a 12-volt outlet. You lose that when you install the big MaxDen. Other than that, it's a really good product from what I understand, assuming that he did the things that everybody says he's done in the newest version. Item number 4 is something that I purchased for my car to try it out because the price was so good I couldn't not try it. There is a company out there called FLA Shark, or FLA Shark, who makes exhaust systems and long tube headers for tons of different vehicles. They're all made in China, but they are made really well. They look good. And the price, I got long tube headers and an X-pipe for like $200, brand new. I was like, wait, I gotta try this. If worse comes to worse, I'll send it back if it doesn't work. I have read the reviews on this company online, and they are mixed at best. I will say from my experience, at least with the set I got for my 03, the headers were great. They fit, they did everything they were supposed to do. The X-pipe was nice quality. I had no argument with any of that. The problem that I found was what they don't tell you is when you buy the long tube headers and the X-pipe, there's a section between the end of the headers and the beginning of the X-pipe that's about that long that is not there. I assume that's where you're supposed to cut out your catalytic converters and stuff from your old exhaust system and route them in, but they don't tell you this. So in the middle of an install, I had to run to an exhaust shop on a Saturday and buy 2 lengths of exhaust pipe that Andy could cut and, mold into place to couple those things together. Overall, I was very happy, especially for the price for what I got. They've been on my car over a year now. I've had absolutely no problems with them. The bung position for the O2 sensors worked out just fine. For the Corvette, their stuff fit, and it was a good price, at least in my experience, so take that for what it's worth. Item number 5 is another Amazon item. I had run out of HyPERFLASH harnesses for C5s, which we include with all of our bundles and stuff, because when you go to LED lighting around a C5, oftentimes you get the fast flash, and this is just a little 2-plug harness with a resistor on it that plugs in under the dash to kind of knock down any HyPERFLASH that you may have. I've been using them for years. I buy them from a couple of different suppliers, but both of the suppliers that I buy from were currently low on stock, so I had to go somewhere to get a couple of them. I went to Amazon and bought their HyPERFLASH harness. And I can tell you unequivocally, that harness does not work. In fact, not only does it not prevent HyPERFLASH, it shuts down the entire hazard and turn signal system, period. It just kills it. So until you unplug it, you have no hazards and no turn signals. If you're gonna buy a HyPERFLASH harness, do not buy it from Amazon because that stuff was absolute trash. Item number 6 on our list are the solid billet aluminum torque tube couplers that are offered for C5s, C6s, where these cars are driven hard and you don't want to put rubber couplers back in when you do a torque tube rebuild because you know you're going to tear them up too fast driving the way you drive or where you drive. Both Blake and Andy here have put the solid billet couplers into their torque tubes. They work very, very well. I will say as a cautionary thing that you do have to be very careful about when you reassemble that drive shaft assembly, that the overall length of that drive shaft assembly is exactly what it was when you started. So we've noticed with some of the billet couplers, we've had to do a little bit of shimming with some really thin washers to make sure everything came out where it was supposed to be. And as long as you're cognizant of that, it's not difficult to overcome. You do get a little more vibration through the driveline because you've eliminated the cushioning of that rubber. But overall, the billet couplers are a really, really good product. You just have to know what you're doing when you're working with them. Item number 7, and in that same vein, is the one-piece Henson Motorsport drive shaft that eliminates couplers completely, and they make them for the C5, the C6, and the C7. We have that drive shaft in Steve's blue Z06 track car, and we've installed it on several customer cars. That is a very well-engineered piece of drive shaft equipment. It goes in, it does what it's supposed to do. There's no additional shimming needed. Again, you are going to have the increased vibration because you do have the elimination of the cushioning, but the Henson drive shaft is very much a plug and play. I think it is the better solution over the billet couplers, but the billet couplers are considerably less expensive. That drive shaft's around $1,100. But the nice thing is once you put it in, you never have to deal with it again. So thumbs up on the Henson Motorsport drive shaft, especially if you are tracking the car, doing HPDE, doing autocross, or you just drive the car really, really hard all the time. The one-piece drive shaft is an excellent way to go. Check out Henson Motorsport for that. And finally, product number 8 today are Apex wheels. Apex wheels we have on Steve's race car. We have put them on other customers' cars as well. They are, you can get them pure forged, flow forged, all kinds of different options at different price points. But our experience with the Apex wheels is like a Timex watch. They take a beating and they keep on ticking. They just really, really work. We've never had a problem with them getting out of shape, out of round, dented, cracking, nothing. And Steve has pushed this car hard on track. I think when it comes to motorsport adjacent wheels that are not, $6,000 a set, I think Apex is among the best. I think their product looks really good. We've had these wheels on the car now for 3 or 4 years, and they look brand new, even though they've been through the ringer at Sebring several times. So thumbs up to Apex. And if you're looking for motorsport style wheels or something that's a little more capable than stock stuff, I would say check them out. So that's it for today's product reviews. I hope you found it helpful and useful. If there are items that you have had experience with and want to tell us about, or if there are items that you have questions about and want us to try and review in the future, put them in the comments below. If it's something we can fit into what we do here, we will certainly do so. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll see you again soon.